Today I got a really sweet deck for all of you. Now outside of the lands, it's only using 4 rares and 7 mythic cards, and it packs a whole lot of punch. Mind you, it is a bit of a one-trick pony, maybe 2 tricks, but it is still a whole lot of fun to play. However, I never see this deck on the ladder, and well, maybe you should be playing it. Let's see it in action. Alright, today I am skipping over the deck intro and instead jumping right into a game, and while I guess the opening hand kind of spoils what we're doing here, but I didn't want anybody to have any, well, we'll see what this thumbnail looks like, but I don't want you to have any expectations for the nonsense that we're going to be seeing with this deck. It is, since it's right here, a Neoform deck, and, well, Neoform I think at times was super abundant. You always would see this deck all over the place, and nowadays I never see it. Anyways, we otherworldly gaze, we're filling up our graveyard because we need to get out this Hooting Mandrill, and the best way for us to do that is to, of course, delve it into play. We'll talk about that in a second. I am going to put this out on green because I'm going to need that eventually, and we have the Archaeologist here. When it enters, I'm going to mill 3 cards, and this is going to allow me to put a non-creature or non-land back into my hand. This is a little bit of mana fixing for us, and we have a 0-3 on the field. Now, you haven't seen the cool surprise. Again, maybe the thumbnail has ruined it. I haven't designed the thumbnail yet, but we'll see. This deck has 2 big win cons. One of them is going to come off of our 6-drop, the Hooting Mandrill here. If you're not familiar with Delve, each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1 mana. So we can get this out for essentially 1 green mana if we exile 5 cards from our graveyard. That's going to allow us to use Neoform to do some stuff, but we're not going to do that. I do have a choice to make here. My opponent is on Gruul. What are they playing over here? I have no idea. Do they have removal? Because I'm missing my land drop. I could use the Bushwhack to go get a basic land. That'll let me then also do maybe a Satyr Wayfinder. No, you know what? This does let me get the mana. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. The card that we're going to go get is not going to be protected, but it wasn't going to be protected anyways. But we will do this, we'll do this, and here comes Neoform. We will sacrifice the Archaeologist, and we are getting an Abhorrent Oculus on turn 3. We are skipping over that additional cost of exiling 6 cards from our graveyard and just getting a 6/6 out on the field. Man, Abhorrent Oculus is one heck of a card. It is a 5/5 flying card at base, but with the Neoform, it gets a +1/+1 counter on it, and then at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, we get to manifest a Dread. And these Dreads, again, there are a couple surprises with the Dreads. We're not going to go over that yet, but I would be remiss to not just do the fun thing right off the bat. This is a pretty great opening game, I'll tell you what. I was actually going to not jump right in. I was going to save filming for maybe tomorrow. I was going to practice the deck a little bit, but my friend kind of convinced me. He's like, you know what, just go for it. It'll be fine. Here, Hooting Mandrill, and then we get to see both of our degenerate stuff in this game. The Neoform on that, and of course we're getting Big Mama Atraxa. And with the Big Mama Atraxa, we get to hopefully find... Oh, we don't find actually any protection for her. There are cool things in the deck that would help us keep this alive. Unfortunately, we missed those. I think we don't care about our life total. We will grab that. And what creature do we want? How many cards do we have in our graveyard? We have 6. We could just hardcast an Abhorrent if things go badly. We do have the Satyr Wayfinder for things. But here is our board state. We have Atraxa, we have an Abhorrent Oculus on the field, and we are generating manifests. And opponent conceding is the typical way that this deck is going to play out. Usually I only play 3 games, but we will actually see. We might do a little bit more. I have no idea what the opponent is on. They are doing stuff with enchantments, very clearly. Maybe they are not. They're maybe 5 color, and maybe they have a Yuna in the deck, but they have a fear of missing out. I don't know. I think I didn't see enough of my opponent's grave plan. Maybe I could bring in the Ghost Vacuum to stop some of the reanimation shenanigans, I think over the Into the Flood Maw, I will bring in the Ghost Vacuums. Whether or not that's going to work out, we'll see. However, as a backup plan against a deck that is putting some pretty powerful enchantments into the graveyard, reanimating some of those might be pretty cool. Even if they are just 1/1s, they have a lot of very powerful enter the battlefield effects, so that's cool. Our opponent's name I didn't realize before. I hate Riot Games. Alright, let's see if we can do the thing once again. Like I mentioned, it is a bit of a one-trick, two-trick pony kind of deck, but hey, when you got tricks like Oculus and Atraxa, what more do you need? Oculus is just such a powerhouse of a card. Okay, we have our things that we want to sacrifice. We have our turn 1 tech card, and we have some enablers, so I think this opening hand looks pretty awesome. Look at us both rocking double Chocobo. I saw somebody post a picture of their Chocobo, their opponent's Chocobo, and the Chocobo had gone over to this area and was obscuring some pretty important, I think it was a mana source that it was obscuring, and the person was like, can we not have the Chocobo, you know, running in front of our opponent's things when we need that? I'm going to go out with the Archaeologist first because the Satyr Wayfinder is going to only allow us to put a land into our hand. We are flush with lands, so I'm going to put out the Archaeologist to try to find, well, Neoform. And then we will have the 2-drop on the field to be able to sacrifice to the Archaeologist. Now, we whiffed on that. We hit 3 of our creatures, and hey, that's part of the gamble of this deck. Sometimes you are just spinning things into your graveyard and you're not finding your pieces. Do note that it is impossible. That's a ley line of binding. Oh, they're taking out the Ghost Vacuum. Well, we don't want to exile anything from our graveyard because our graveyard is pretty important to us. And what else can we do? Yeah, if you don't find your Neoform, that's the only way to get Atraxa out onto the field. We can definitely hard cast the Oculus if we want to, but this is a new card for me. So we're seeing Terra here. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards, put 1 enchantment, mill this way into your hand, and then when it transforms for 6, it's going to create a token copy that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it is a Saga, put up to 3 Lord counters on it. So yeah, they're doing some nutty stuff. I think this Boseiju is going to be important, possibly so important that I might end up using it to get rid of the leyline binding to get back my Ghost Vacuum. But I feel like that is something that we don't have to worry about quite yet. Instead, I'm going to go out with the Satyr Wayfinder, find a land, and put more creatures in the graveyard. Hey, okay, well. And we'll put this out untapped, just so we have Stubborn Denial up. If they play out a 3 with no mana, not likely, or a 4 CMC enchantment, maybe we can get it with the stub. Counter that. Man, who doesn't love a Stubborn Denial, right? Of course, it doesn't have ferocity, is that what it's called? Ferociousness ability. Okay, they put out an untapped Stomping Ground. They do have the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so maybe they're prepared for our Stubborn Denial. Attack with the Terra, it's okay. Opponent foregoes the attack, and they expertly play around the Stubborn Denial with their Fable of the Mirror Breaker. What a gamer. What a gamer. Okay, we have 6 cards in our graveyard. We may as well put out this. There's no reason to keep any of these in the graveyard. We're not getting them back in any other way. And this actually does give us a hard cast Stubborn Denial. I wonder no. We put out the Satyr Wayfinder. I don't think there was a chance for us to do that. Part of me wants to Boseiju, but I think there's probably going to be bigger threats. I really feel like my opponent might be gearing up to hit us with an Odin, not an Odin, a Bahamut maybe. I've never seen, have you guys seen some of the new sagas? The only ones I have seen, I saw Knights of the Round in one limited matchup, and I think that's about it. But they are playing Yuna, Hope of Spiro. So they are trying to reanimate some stuff, whatever. So they threw away 2 lands, not a big deal. So, hitting a Neoform here does kind of just put us in a really great position. The opponent seemingly doing nothing. There's no way they missed their land. Okay. I think I'm fine blocking. Let's get rid of this 2/2. I think that was just so they could generate a mana source. Maybe they're trying to get up to flipping Terra. And if that's the case, that's the case, yeah. Well, when it comes in, so create a token copy that is a target. They're making a copy of the Reflections of Kikijiki Fable over here. I could destroy it with the Boseiju. I could also kill the Terra, which is interesting with the Boseiju. Do I care if they get another Fable? I don't think I care. Oh, they just went right to level 3. That's cool. So if it's a Saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So that's cool. I didn't realize that. So if you put the 3 counters on it, it automatically does each step, where I kind of thought it would only do stage 3. Is what it is. Okay, well, we are not running so hot, so I think we just get to sit here. Do I just kill this Terra? Because it's going to keep doing things, so I think it's prudent for me just to do this. I'm going to murder the Terra. And then we get in for 4, maybe 2, with the Hooting Mandrill, and give them a little bit of mana. We do still have the stub. We have the Essence Flux. So the Essence Flux, since I haven't used it yet, I may as well explain what it's doing in the deck. Essence Flux is sweet. When you have your Abhorrent Oculus on the field and your Abhorrent Oculus is making dreads, manifesting the dreads, you can Essence Flux those dreads and return them to the field face side up. So let's say you turn over a beautiful Atraxa, well, you can flip Atraxa up and you have an Atraxa. That's what that's all about. Ooh, our opponent is going to Leyline Binding the Stubborn Denial, or sorry, the Hooting Mandrill. So do I Stubborn Denial the Leyline, or do I just Essence Flux the Hooting Mandrill? Yeah. I think it's fine to bring our boy back as a 5/5. We hold up the Stubborn Denial, just not as a 5/5. If it's a Spirit, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So we only get the +1/+1 counter from our Neoforms is going to do that. That's where I was confused. I think our opponent kind of has our number in this one. I don't imagine these draws are good. However, this deck, as soon as it hits an Atraxa, which, of course, it does some wild things, because you do get all of the extra cards from Atraxa. She's basically going to give us, probably on average, 2.5 cards kind of thing. Sometimes 4, sometimes you whiff real hard and you get... I don't think you would ever get 1 on her ability, but maybe 2. Thunder Magic on the Hooting Mandrill. I'm kind of all in on my Hooting Mandrill, so I think I'm okay stubbing this. They seem a little bit desperate. So let's get rid of Thunder Magic. It's very cool that the opponent is playing some Final Fantasy cards. Big appreciation to my opponent for doing that. But they are now down to 1 card. It has to be a pretty wild card to be able to deal with the Neoform. And we're all in on a draw. We're all on... come on. What is this thing? Oh, yes! Yeah, let's go! Let's go this game! So we saved our Hooting Mandrill and got our last Atraxa onto the field. That's so stupid. And we get the Essence Flux, so we're making sure that we're going to take that one to protect our girl. We do get to take a land. It doesn't matter, but let's get one that's going to come in untapped. I think we have so much... it doesn't matter, does it? being stupid. And then we only get to choose one of these creatures, but I think it's probably Abhorrent Oculus, because next turn I'll be able to just cast it out. Can I cast it out this turn? Yeah, why would I wait? So let's do that. And hold up the Essence Flux to protect whatever creature that we want. We do have to exile our entire graveyard. But talk about a turn, holy moly. No, we'll hold off for one turn. And let's see what the opponent can do. I didn't read this card. Summon X, return target Saga card with X mana value from your graveyard. Get a Dread Hootie Mandrill, which is almost irrelevant. From your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It gains haste until the end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery finality. If a permanent with a finality counter, oh my god, on it would go to the graveyard, exile it instead. So our opponent, notably, Fear of Missing Out is activated. They do have the Kiki Jiki. They probably do have a lot of stuff that they potentially could do this turn. And we only have a single Essence Flux to protect either Atraxa or the Oculus. One thing to note, I've been playing this deck for like the last 2 days. I've had this deck in my deck library forever. I don't know where it came from, but it was... I mean, you see an Atraxa Neoform deck and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to play around with this. Whenever this permanent enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. Excuse me? That is the Red Overlord. How cool. How cool, how cool. Wow, they opted to kill the Oculus. Okay, I gotta think here. So, they're gonna attack. Whenever this creature attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So they are going to attack with the Fear of Missing Out. They're going to untap the reflections, and they're going to get another Overlord. But they are only going to get 4 damage. I don't think they have any... I'm going to do this. I think this is correct. They're going to give us the Fear... but all they're going to get is another 4 damage. I don't think that's not enough, right? They can't give haste to these creatures. Right? This creature has haste. Oh, I forgot that the Kiki-Jiki Reflections does that. For some reason, the way the aura looked, it was making me think that it was summoning 6, so I did mess up on that. Okay. We're going to have to make sure this... That actually, we might just lose the game now because of that. I 100% forgot that this Overlord was going to have... haste. Oh my gosh. So I think I have to kill the Overlord with this, but then they're going to get 2 more triggers no matter what, so they're going to kill the Oculus. My opponent just wiped us out. Okay. Huge misplay on this guy's part because of not realizing something. Whoa. Why? Whenever this creature attacks for the first time each turn, if there are 4 more card types among creatures, among your cards in your graveyard, untap target creature. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. What happened to... What happened? Okay. I think we're still very, very much in trouble. I think I'm just misunderstanding what some cards do. There's no reason not to turn this face up, because at least it's going to be a 4/4. It's better than a 2/2, and I'm not doing anything with my mana. There's not like I couldn't draw a card here. So, we'll just put up the coast. No, I think we're still boned. That's a very cool play by the opponent. I can really appreciate that. But I really wonder what happened there. I feel like I missed something. Maybe there was a trigger by the Fear when it attacked, and the trigger was on the boiler bilges. Is that how that... Maybe they're going to attack again, and we'll see how it works. Yeah. The opponent's got us. I just want to see how this plays out. Ding ding. Oh, okay. Opponent's just going through the motions. Okay, yeah. So there's the untap. So I guess they had untapped it, but because it was dead... Okay, yeah. For some reason I thought they would have done that, but I guess it has to be an attacking creature? Untap target creature, I don't... No. I think I just don't know how Kiki Jiki works, or how Fear of Missing Out works. The opponent, those are some hot draws. So that Overlord was a crazy card to have, and that's about it for this game. Whew, okay. Doesn't matter. We did the first thing, and we get a game 2. What do we want to bring in against our opponent? Maybe now that we know a little bit better, probably pick your poison, or natural state's probably not going to be too good because it's only hitting 3 or less. So maybe pick your poison. Would the Ghost Vacuum even really do that much damage to my opponent? Maybe. They did seem to hate it quite quickly. So we'll bring in the pick your poison, and oh man, the Stubborn Denial, honestly, I don't know how effective it's going to be. They're generating so much mana, and they're also playing out a lot of creatures, so it might not be the best thing to have to fight against them. Do I even want to keep... Yeah, I'll keep at least a couple, because it does get the Leyline Bindings if they try to go after an Atraxa, if we get one out early. This is a pretty cool matchup. I did not expect the opponent to be playing such a sweet deck. This is the first time I have seen an Enchantment Reanimator deck. I've actually been keeping track of my games since 6 days ago. And I guess a little peek behind the veil. I played 44 games, best of 3, in 6 days. I guess it's been about 6 days, yeah. And not once have I seen what the opponent is playing. So that's pretty cool that they're on something unique and special, and I feel like the deck that I'm playing is also, although degenerate, not something that you necessarily see very often. So we'll go out with the Archaeologist. We have our target for our Neoform next turn. The Archaeologist whiffs hard, but that's fine. So with the Essence Flux and the Neoform, we're going to be able to keep probably an Oculus on the field quite comfortably. I think it's fine to go out this way. Do I attack in? I don't think I attack. I don't want to be greedy and try to get 1 point. They already gave me 2 points by putting in that Stomping Ground. Now, although this deck is very much a Neoform Atraxa deck, I find myself putting out the Oculus far more often than anything else. Let's see if they have something to deal with it, and we might have to deploy this. I do appreciate the opponent over here really heavily leaning into the Final Fantasy stuff. They are obvious fans. Which, hey, pretty sweet. I had a blast playing my Boros equipment deck. I definitely want to go back to that. I'm so eagerly awaiting the 30th when apparently there are going to be band announcements. Okay, not a big thing there. So, Heritage Reclamation, just to draw a card. Fine. Okay, Hooting Mandrill out. Probably not going... Actually, here's a question. Can I flip up a Hooting Mandrill with its delve cost as a Dread? That's what they're called, right? Dread, yeah. I don't think I can do that, but if you know, let me know, because I don't know if it's going to actually come up in this game. I think I was in the middle of saying at one point, but I never finished that thought, because I never finish any thought. This is the first deck that I've played that I've actually made an opponent rope out on me. And, man oh man. It's pretty fun when that happens. Okay, let's fix our draws. I don't think I care about hitting land or another Ghost Vacuum. I think we're just going to put everything into the bin. What I would really like to find is more Essence Fluxes. Okay. A Hooting Mandrill. Not bad. Let's get in for a cool 8 damage. And honestly, I think my opponent's... Do I care enough about this Overlord to take it out? Let's start with the Mandrill. Well, I want to play to the board, I think. And I could destroy the Overlord. Do they have a shenanigans that is going to allow them to put something out and that thing can like reanimate the Overlord? This is sorcery speed, so I think if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now. I just don't know how threatening the opponent's thing is. What else am I going to use it for? I'm all in. Opponent, get rid of it. Hidden Atraxa, Hidden Atraxa, Hidden Atraxa. Okay. Well, I think this is a turn. They got a full mitt, 7 cards in hand, and 5 mana potentially to do something. They have all of their colors with this amazing Everywhere land. So if they got something, they got something. Let's see if I'm going to get roped again, or if our opponent's going to be honorable. Okay, fear of missing out, hitting the field, not a big deal. They're going to pitch something. They haven't played a land yet, so still potentially 3 mana to make something happen. But that's a lot. They put the Esper Origins in there. It has flashback for 4. Is this all you have, opponent? Okay, we may as well grab the Origins. Okay. Oh, the opponent sets a stop at the... Oh, the opponent. Sneaky boy. So, probably we're just going to blink the Abhorrent Oculus, keep it on the field. Yeah. And I also think probably... Oh, what a draw! What a draw! I think I'm just going in with these. Like, I don't care about either of those cards for the most part. They can kill one, but... Oh, they killed the right one too. Or, well, they killed the right one for me. They left the Hooting Mandrill versus the Archaeologist, and I'm kind of okay with that. Oh. I could have flipped the Hooting Mandrill there, but I think it is prudent to make sure that we're able to keep this Oculus on the field. And like I said, if I hit an Atraxa here with this trigger, then things really get going. You know what else gets going? A second Oculus, and creating 2 Dreads is going to be really good. Maybe the Hooting Mandrill's Trample is actually going to be impactful here if they play out like a Terra. I think the Terra was a 4/2. So not the best blocker, and if we have 5 in the air, if their only blocker is the fear of missing out, that's also 1 more damage over from the Mandrill. So things are looking okay. I'm just a little bit scared of all of this mana that they have. And Leyline Bam... You guys... I'm sure there's going to be at least one person... I know there's going to be at least one person that's going to talk about the stupidity of Leyline Binding. Let's get rid of the Overlord while we can. Okay. So using 2 mana on that seems like a massive desperation play by the opponent. They still have 1 mana, so it's possible. Oh my god, their 1 mana is a Pain Land. My opponent, I'm so sorry. GG. What a cool game. Happy Matt. Something different. So the reason behind playing this deck was because I've just been playing kind of a lot of the same stuff. I've been playing a ton of white with my humans decks, with my... It was another Oculus! Ta-da! I've been playing a lot of white, and I wanted to play something that was a little different. I actually have an Azorius Humans deck that I'm also playing, but I didn't want to put out another video on the back of a Boros equipment deck. Anyways, what a cool first opening game. Let's see a couple of more. It did go a lot longer, but the opponent, 31 minutes, holy moly. The opponent really made this game last. Let's go to the next one. Game number 1 in the bag. Let's see how game number 2 goes. Hopefully a little bit faster. I was genuinely surprised that, I guess that second game did grind out quite a bit. Ooh, now this hand is a little bit sketchy. That being said, the Otherworldly Gaze is really good at helping us find our lands, and we also have the Bushwhack. So I think, despite it being a little bit of a tricky hand, I'm going to go for it. And we're going to go the easy way, and we're just going to go Bushwhacking to start. Typically, I find this deck needs blue mana a lot more than green mana, so keep that in mind when you are going to find your mana sources. And our opponent playing potentially a artifact deck by the looks of it. Boros Equipment. Let's grab. This is a little bit of a tricky one. So I kind of want to grab the Essence Flux, not the Neoform, because I already have a Neoform, and my plan right now is to turn this trainer into a Oculus. And then with the Oculus, the Essence Fluxes are what really gets those dreads going. So I think I am going to go with the Essence Flux over the Neoform. I have 2 of them in there. If I hit big on the Essence Flux next turn, assuming that they don't do anything to my trainer, which they didn't, I think we could be in good shape. Deck is giving me a lot of lands. I do think I want to be a little bit careful with my life total here. So we'll put this out on blue. We will Neoform our trainer to grow an Oculus and dig for the Atraxa. Okay, your turn, opponent. We have our Essence Flux. We have a 6/6. We miss. Doesn't matter. But they do have a Raban, and the Raban has protection, so it's very possible that we could die. Especially considering that they are going to be hitting us with a hammer this turn. Hang on. Choose a color. Choose a color. Not a color. Not a color. So, assuming that they do not find any kind of trample, which, well, how could they possibly find some trample? What do we hit? There is, now I'm regretting not keeping, now I'm regretting not keeping the Neoform for the Atraxa. I kind of feel like I'm all in on the Neoform flipping, or the Abhorrent Oculuses finding the dreads, and the Essence Flux doing that cool stuff. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep this Oculus, and I think I'm going to pay 2 life. I'm going to do this. I also have the Stubborn Denial to stop any trample, and we have 2 blocker dreads on the field now. Probably we're okay. And we do have 16 life, so yeah, maybe okay. Okay, Archaeologist, fine, and we're missing. Okay, it's fine. These poor dreads have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Okay, that was a little sketchy. Honestly, that equipment deck can put out so much damage so quickly. So glad to dodge that. I feel like Natural State might be a pretty good card to bring in this matchup. Really stopping the opponent's trample is going to be the key thing here. Into the Floodmaw, I also want to keep in the deck because bouncing something from the opponent can really slow down their plan. I feel like Stub is not going to be hugely impactful in this game specifically. This deck with sideboarding is always a problem for me, clearly. But I feel like this deck has such a core build that you really don't want to be messing around with the main engine of the deck too much. The best deck, or best card in their deck, by far, the Fervent Champion. Okay. We will put out the Island, Otherworldly Gaze, and we're just praying that we're going to be able to find something. Oh, they even got the cool art. When I was making my deck, I was looking at all of the alternative art for these cards, and man, that's just something else right there. So, much better start from the opponent, taking us down 6 on turn 2, and we have a very anemic Otherworldly Gaze. This is not finding us anything. What do I even need? I need land. I need literally everything. I'm going to put all in the graveyard. I think maybe a Hooting Mandrill into... it might be Hooting Mandrill into a Natroxa is the only thing that keeps me alive. I could put out the Thundertrap Trainer here, and it's a blocker potentially for the next attack. I could also go and guarantee a land, but I can't play out the land. So I think it might just be this, and I hope that they don't have Trample and I soak up just a little bit of damage. Maybe, you know what? That was a mistake there too. Oh, no, it didn't matter. So this card is a little bit different from the other cards. This card puts the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library. I was going to say, if those cards were going to go into the graveyard, I should have probably put the Neoform in the graveyard because I don't need this many cards. Okay, the opponent kind of not doing much. Now I'm kind of thinking I should have kept that on the field. Now I'm in trouble. Okay. I will fully admit that I blocked very quickly there. And I think I might end up regretting that. If we can dodge one more turn, what do we want? We only got one draw. We can't... We need them to not have anything for 3 turns. That's not too much to ask for, is it? Just, opponent, draw completely dead for 3 turns, please. That's enough damage, isn't it? That's exact C's. Okay. Had I taken the 4 damage and left the thing on the field, gotten a Dread, maybe we could have done a little bit better there, but is what it is. I don't know about the Unable to Scream. I was kind of looking at that and thinking that maybe that might be a good card, but like, even Unable to Scream with their equipment cards is going to be a pretty big threat. So I think I just need to not draw 4 Neoforms. Okay, this is a better looking hand. We have the things that we can spin into, and we have this Otherworldly Gaze that we're going to hope finds us something on the top of our deck. Ooh, an early Colossus Hammer. That's a little bit strange. What it's making me think is that maybe they have a Raban. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to go out with the Satyr Wayfinder, fill up the graveyard over putting out the Bushwhack. The Bushwhack might actually come in handy to try to kill something. We want the land. The Atraxa goes in there. We lose one of our natural states, which could have been good against the Colossus Hammer. It is what it is. It's a Kemba. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So, our mana did us in. Our mana did us in. Now I have a choice. Do I think I ran out the island too quickly. Had I played the Bushwhack to go get a forest, I could have... No, I didn't have the mana no matter what. So it's probably the Oculus, and hope that the Oculus is Dreads. Is it the Oculus? I'm sorry, opponent. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Oculus, I think. This feels bad. No attack. Kemba's cool. Whatever. I did remember seeing people playing this card when I was looking at my Boros Equipment deck, and wondering if this was maybe a card that I should have put in. Oh, they hit the Shadow Spear. Okay. So I need... Not that. Not that. No, and I still can't get the Atraxa. Okay, I think the opponent's got us donezo. Let's just do this. We'll go get our land. But what can I even put on the field? I can put another Oculus onto the field and bounce something, have the Stubborn Denial up. Let's do the attack first. If I hit the Atraxa, that might give me enough lifelink to maybe survive. Doesn't matter. Okay, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 12. We have enough damage to actually put in front of the Kemba and kill it. Isn't that wild? But yeah, I didn't want to spend wild cards on Kemba. I'll be perfectly honest. I think it's a pretty cool card, and the fact that it can equip something for free when it enters and when other cats enter. But I think the deck is only playing the Kemba as the only cat. Still, that's pretty good to get a 12/12. Is that what it comes in as? These are all useless. What do we need? We need okay. We need... a bounce spell, right? We need Into the Floodmaw. Okay. I hope I counted right. I have 17, right? 17, 17? Okay. The problem is they're going to go up to a cool 48. But that's not a big deal, right? What does Cloud find? Probably the Hexproof Dragon Fireblade, maybe? Or maybe another hammer if they have Sigarda's Aid in hand. But this Shadow Spear is going to be a big problem. They get the Dragon Fireblade. And we draw dead. Okay. Well, we'll put out the poor Hooting Mandrills in hopes of something coming up on following turns. We're obviously on defense. They have forever to be able to find something. They could probably even equip the Colossus Hammer for 8 mana before we find a threat. Exile a top card of your library during any turn. You may put a lore counter on this saga. Okay, and it gets haste. Cool. Ooh, what a hit by the opponent finding the Sigarda's Aid. Is it just a counter on the Sigarda's Aid? Because if they have a hammer, then I'm really messed up. I don't know, I think I'm still pretty messed up. Fervent Champion. Fervent Champion can just equip everything. Okay, Boros Equipment turns out fast enough. Attack. Oh. Okay, it's a... You're telling me there's a chance that I just happen to have enough cards in the graveyard to put on an Oculus. Okay. Flipping a Traxa. Come. It's not fair. Let me do the busted thing, opponent. Alright. So at this point, we gotta put a lot of stuff in front of this. Oh, this is super cool. Giving haste to the Defector Might allows the Fervent Champion to get protection. Kind of a cool little thing. I think we're gonna give it maybe one more draw and pack it in. I don't want this video to be an hour. I was really expecting this to go a lot faster. Come on. A double Essence Flux. Okay. I'm not attacking, right? This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Why am I wasting my time? There's the natural state. Why couldn't I draw that? If we were able to draw the natural state and destroy the card that's giving us a lot of trouble, which is the Shadow Spear, could have been okay. Oh, opponent, you are not... you are not getting my abhorrent Oculus that way. Come on now. I said one more draw, right? One more draw now? They should attack, right? Do I have even Neoforms left in the deck? 3. Ooh, they were all breeding pools too. I should have... but Seiju would have been so cool. I should have 2 more Neoforms in the deck. But hey, this board's getting a little bit chunky though. All they just need 1 more mana. And then they could equip the Fervent Champion with the Colossus Hammer. You know what's a travesty? Speaking of travesties, the fact that they put so much Final Fantasy stuff in this game, but on the MTG client, they don't have the Cat Scythe Colossus Hammer variant that is in, I think, one of the precons. And that is the greatest affront to mankind. If they attack him with this Fervent Champion, I can't do literally anything. Just attack, opponent. And if they gave it can't be blocked by blue, it's even better. Can they hear me? The place is mic'd up. They might go with green because they want me to put the Oculus in front of it. Blue. Okay. Attack away. So none of these flip into anything normal. If I attack, they're going to kill most of the things. They don't have double strike, so I just need to absorb enough of the damage. We'll put those 2 in front of it. This absorbs 4 of the damage. They're going to do 4 more, bring me down to 2. My math is correct. I'm really just struggling at this point for literally no reason. Okay. Oh, one more Oculus hit. One more Oculus hit. All right. Opponent doing the cool stuff. Swing in. Do I allow them to swing? Okay, I'm gonna allow them to have the glory. I think it's only right to permit them to do that. Come on. Attack. Don't think about it. Don't think too hard about your. Just swing. I'm at 2 life. Just kill me. Just kill me. Let's emote them a bit. Don't underestimate me. Maybe scare them into not attacking. There you go. All right, pick green. Pick green. He picks blue. All right. Not too bad. Still, opponent Yeah, that's a hard deck to deal with because they just have so much life gain and so much damage, and we didn't really hit the big stuff in games 2 and 3. That's alright. I'm gonna run it through one more. Okay, our third and final game. We're definitely only going to be playing 3. Like I said earlier, I was kind of hopeful that I would be able to play a few more than that, but I don't think so. We don't have the shenanigans, but we kind of just have a turn 3 Abhorrent Oculus. Probably. Yes. A little unfortunate that the Otherworldly Gaze does not go into the graveyard after you flash it back. It is a thing. Ooh! So, this might be a hard matchup. If this is Elves, does this change things? Ooh, these are some really good cards. So next turn we could Archaeologist, fill up the graveyard a little bit, grab the Neoform, but we're gonna lose the Hooting Mandrills. If this opponent is on Selesnya, like Value Town, Bounce and that, this matchup's like super hard. The deck that I find the most difficult to play against is Bounce. So, oh man, I'm wasting a lot of time here. I don't know what I should do. I want all of these cards. Sorry, Hooting Mandrills, I think they just go in the bin. Okay, so we'll play out this. We're going to play out the Archaeologist, grab the Neoform. There goes an Atraxa. Okay, so one more in the deck. There are only 2. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. But yes, if they are playing Elves, maybe I'm okay. If they're playing Angels, I'm also probably okay. If they're playing this, not okay. That being said, Elves or Angels would also possibly be playing this. So I don't have enough cards in the graveyard yet to be able to do the thing, so I think I'm just going to Bushwhack to grab a blue source. I have plenty of sources of everything, and I'll probably end up otherworldly gazing to be able to play out an Oculus. Okay, so it is Angels. I feel a little bit better playing against Angels, I think. I don't want any of these. Do I want the Archaeologist? No, I don't think so. I think I really need to fill up the graveyard with 2 Oculuses in hand. Ooh. Plans changed. Hello, you beautiful, beautiful monkey. You are so cute. Doo, 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 doo. And so here's going to be the big factor. This Atraxa has to hit Evasion. And so that is going to only be none of these cards. I needed the bounce thing. This is an opponent thing. I don't have a need for another one of those. Stubborn Denial is only non-creature spells. I'm still going to grab it because I think maybe they have a Collected Company that I could deal with. And then I think it's probably just... Are we just overwhelming them with... I think we're just overwhelming them with Dreads. That's our only backup plan. So if they have a Skyclave Apparition, we're toast. Oh, okay. They do not. And we miss on the good thing, but that's maybe okay. Otherworldly Gaze is pretty baller because I am going to be able to get an Abhorrent Oculus out now. I don't care about Neoform. I don't care about a land. I don't care about Stubborn Denial either. Okay. We want to make sure that we have a blue source up for our Stubborn Denial. It's our only hope. So we'll go... No, not you. We'll get rid of these 6. Keep the Otherworldly Gaze and the Hooting Mandrill, 2 cards in the graveyard. And we start making a board. Yeah, sure. We need the Essence Fluxes. There are 4 in the deck, so 3 more in the deck that we can maybe get. Ugh. Okay, gonna have to keep the opponent off kilter. Return target artifact, creature, or enchantment. So that's probably going to be a good card to keep in hand, just in case they try to do some kind of funky blocking. Do I attack in with the Oculus as well? I don't think I do. Let's just send the Atraxa. Okay, they take it. They are gaining quite a bit of life, and if they get the Resplendent Angel online, we're in trouble. I think I'm actually not going to play out the Otherworldly Gaze right now. Instead, I'm just going to... there goes another Essence Flux. I guess it doesn't really matter. I have my threats in hand. I don't even know if I have another Abhorrent Oculus in the deck. No, I do. I have one more. So Atraxa is out, and just one more Oculus, two in the hand. So we're just making 2/2 Dreads at this point, the ground team. And they have a Resplendent Angel. So, am I bouncing a Righteous Valkyrie? Am I bouncing the Resplendent Angel? I think I'm bouncing... This is going to give them 6. I cannot allow them to gain 6. I can allow them to gain 3. That, I think, was correct. Oh, you know what? I think the opponent conceding there, huge W for me. I don't know if I had it. Like, I guess next turn I am attacking with the Atraxa and the Abhorrent. I'm putting a lot of pressure on them. They're going to have to chump block something, which would put them in a bad position. But I don't know. I feel like the opponent could have probably stuck that out a little bit longer. I don't think they were completely out of the game. Stubborn Denial kind of feels a little bit bad, although they do have Collected Companies. It might be a good thing. I kind of feel like this Unable to Scream might end up just being a better card overall. So we'll probably bring in all 3 of those. Into the Floodmaw maybe is also going to be a little bit important at some point. Maybe, do I want to go down a Stub or into? Okay, I think, wow, this is actually really hard. Do I just play the 61 card special? Maybe. I think we'll just go out with the Floodmaw. I feel like having 2 Stubborn Denials is going to be important. Stopping a Collected Company might just win the game on its own, and it might stop a complete blowout. So, tricky. Oof. So we have an Atraxa in hand. We don't have any of the little enablers. I think this is a throwaway, even though the mana's kind of good. This is a much better hand. Okay. So, the plan is going to be Atraxa again. The best way to fill the graveyard is probably with the Satyr Wayfinders. The Thunder Trap Trainer does help me get some of those other cool cards, like a second Neoform, but I think probably double Satyr Wayfinder, finding me some lands, is going to be the key to do this one. We find another Hooting Mandrill. What a cool card. Man, Delve is cool. Eee. Okay, the opponent doing a pretty cool turn 2 there. We need our mana. As much as full graveyard as I'd like to have, I still think it's probably okay to do that. Ooh, at least that wasn't a Collected Company. So we cannot get Atraxa out this turn, but we can get Atraxa out on the following turn. We just have to make sure that we survive until then. There are times when I would probably say that, you know what, maybe I did misplay there. When I played out the Satyr Wayfinder, maybe I should just put all 4 cards into the graveyard. Would it have made a difference? Maybe not. There's the Coco. So the opponent's just running exactly the way they want to be running. Oh no! So this is Angels doing what Angels do, right? Okay, so this is a little bit awkward. I need to only put 1 in the graveyard and make sure I draw out the Archaeologist to keep the Atraxa in the deck. I think that's probably what I had to do there, but maybe it doesn't actually matter. So let's, not you, I always grab the wrong one. Submit 5, pay the 1, and then we will Neoform out and Atraxa. She is going to be... I'm just dead here, actually, right? Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take this. We'll take the Bushwhack, I guess, just to go through the motions. Ooh! Wow, we get 5 cards there. That's a pretty good little hit. And so, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Let's fight this thing. And actually, that gets rid of the Anthem, meaning I don't just die. That Bushwhack was actually massive. How do they hit a Collected Company into Collected Company and Resplendent Angel? Did they gain enough life there? I don't... Oh, they did. Oh, because it's a 5/5 because of the Resplendent Righteous Valkyrie trigger. Okie dokie. And now with Giada, the opponent... Good job, Angels. They did the cool thing. So, Stubborn Denial. I think it's fine. They were on the play. They obviously had, like... I don't know if you could have a better turn 1, 2, 3 with Angels than that. They could have. They didn't have turn 3 Collected Company. They had turn 3 Resplendent Angel, turn 4 Collected Company, turn 5 Collected Company, I think. It was pretty good. Alright. This maybe is okay. We are going to put out the blue source, Otherworldly Gaze, into the Satyr Wayfinder, hoping to find Oculuses. I don't know. I do think I'm going to need this Botanical Sanctum, probably. So, I don't know. What do you think? Was the Botanical Sanctum a keep there, or because I have the Satyr Wayfinder, was I supposed to just not grab it? Same thing here. Do I want to just fill my graveyard? I'm going to have... No, I can grab this. It's fine. But, you know, actually the position's not great. We don't have a way of turning the Hooting Mandrill into something scary. We are still going to run it out in the hopes of drawing something. Let me click it. Okay. Nope. Always doing the wrong thing there. We do get to keep up the Stubborn Denial just in case they hit a Collected... No, they don't have a Collected Company here. So probably we are Otherworldly Gazing on this turn. That's pretty good. Oh, Giada is such a good card. Okay, show us a Neoform. No, everything in the bin? Or do I keep the Archaeologist to dig... I think I keep the Archaeologist to dig a little bit more for a potential Neoform. It allows me to go at least 2 cards deeper. Okay. Archaeologist. Missing. Big time. Yikes. Okay, well, get in, monkey. And I think at this point we are... I'm going to pay the 2 life just to keep both of these up. Or both of these up, I guess. It doesn't matter. We are... Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with value 3 or less enter, draw a card, this triggers... What the heck is this card? But I'm not... No, we're not doing that, opponent. No. No. You get out of there with that stuff. Oh, there it is. Let's play smart. Attack first, right? Get in 4 damage. There's literally no reason not to do that. Grab this beautiful Phyrexian Angel. And let's see what we hit. We hit this land, fine. We only have enchantments. We have this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Yep. I would say that's a bit of a turn. We are going to put that onto Giada. Does Giada stay as... Ooh, okay. It does stay as a Giada. It doesn't turn into something else. It's an angel toy. That's cool. Nope. Sorry, opponent. You shall not do that. How many Stubborn Denials do I have in the deck? Do I still have one? I don't. I put both of them in the graveyard. So now if they hit another... Collect a Company, there's nothing I can really do about it. However, I do have the Essence Flux to do a little bit of Bouncerino stuff. So let's put out the Gaze. Sometimes you just... I don't know why I call it a Gaze. Because I'm looking at this. Put out the Abhorrent Oculus. It's got a big eye. It's gazing. Whatever. Hooting Mandrill. Cool. And, assuming that there's not an absolute disaster here, we should be just fine. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, it's a little annoying. It's not the end of the world. They still... Man, they gained a lot of life there. What is that all about? Where did they gain the life? Oh, they just gained life there. Was there anything I could have done? No. No. Damn. Man, angels. I hate angels. That being said, I am playing an angel. Do I want to keep any of these cards? I don't know. I really wonder, maybe, what I should have done there was... No, I shouldn't have taken all of my, my good cards out of the deck, is what I shouldn't have done. We needed to have... Oh, man, this feels bad. Oh, I should have kept the Hooting Mandrill, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm going to lose this now. What do I do? Yeah, back up Atraxa. That's not doing anything. I needed that Bushwhack. Do I have any more Bushwhacks in the deck? I have one more in the deck. Ugh, Bishop of Wings. No, don't play another angel. Okay, that's the least scary thing. They're going after the Oculus? That's wild to me. We're gonna keep the Oculus alive, though. I think. We might just have to go incredibly wide with a whole bunch of 2/2 lands. Let's do this. And I don't know if I want to be thinning... That's good. You know what? I don't mind digging with the Thunderer. I'm going to leave all those on top. Do I have something that this can destroy? It can destroy non-basic, enchantment, or artifact, and that's not anything. Okay, so what are we taking out of the sky? I don't know. Is it the 6/6? This 6/6 flyer is really annoying. However, this Giada is going to make any angel that they draw a very big pain in my backside. So I think it's actually the Giada. And if they want to put both the Resplendent Angel and the Token Angel in front of Atraxa, I would be very fine with that. Hit an Oculus. Hit an Oculus, please. Please. Well, I know it's not going to be an Oculus. I put those cards there. Genius. Hey, that's cool. I just unlocked a little... How... Oh, obnoxious. 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 And now it's GG. It's GG. Oh. Okay. Angels still kind of a powerful deck. Imagine that. Making 8/8s. 9/9s. Oh my gosh. It's not her power, is it? It's something else. It's for each angel you control, they just get bigger every time. Alright. Opponent, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Bye-bye. Alright, so here is Atraxa Neoform, and it's a sweet deck. I think it's very fun to play, and it definitely does some cool stuff. Obviously, some of the games were a little bit rough. We kind of got run over by Boros Equipment. Hey, it happens. Boros Equipment, they have that ideal draw, which they definitely had in Game 2. Oh my god, that Game 2 with the Fervent Champions, best card in the deck. Mark my words. It's great. And then the Angels... Angels are going to run over literally any deck that doesn't have board wipes, and obviously this is not doing that. This is one tricking into a very, very fast Atraxa and hoping that's going to be enough. The Abhorrent Oculuses are obviously a very cool card, and they do a lot of fun stuff. I don't know... This card is just cool. I think you should craft it, and you can play it in a whole bunch of different decks, and you can also play it in Standard. It's probably going to be really good in Standard after Red gets a little bit of a neutering next week. Probably going to happen. And then Atraxa is just fun. So, yeah, this deck is sweet. And on top of that, let's assume that you have your lands. Because, let's be honest, if you are playing Pioneer, you probably have these lands. And if you don't, it's worth crafting. Definitely, Botanical Sanctum, Breeding Pool are two that you should have in your collection. The Pathway and the Pain lands are also kind of good to have in there. Boseiju, everybody needs a Boseiju. Ottawa, sure. Ottawara, that's what it's called. It's good to have too. So the lands, being what they are, is fine. The cool thing about this deck is that it's mostly uncommons and commons. Like, the core of the deck. I don't think you need the Thunder Trap Trainer. You could probably cut that card and fill it with another copy of the Satyr Wayfinder. There might be something else that you can put in that's going to allow you to dig a little bit, but I don't think you really need it. Otherwise, like, uncommons and commons are the core of the deck. Even in the sideboard, the only card that you that's expensive is the Jin Gataxius, and this card is only in there for your control matchups. You don't really see that. Ghost Vacuum, there are cheaper versions of Ghost Vacuum if you want some graveyard hate. You don't need to be playing this. You could be playing Tormod's Crypt, or I'm sure there's something else that you could be playing that deals with the graveyard. What is the one that stops... Now I'm forgetting. The one that stops Coco as well as graveyard. Grafdigger's Cage. That might be a rare, though. I'm pretty sure that's probably a rare. Still, this deck is actually surprisingly cheap, and coming off of the deck that I made for the Boros Equipment being, what, like 54 rare cards or something like that in the deck, 52, absolutely outrageous. This deck, a lot cheaper, it can win a lot as well, and I think once you get used to some of the lines, this deck would probably function very well. That being said, it is one trick. It is very easily disruptible. Your opponents can just kind of go over you like you saw in the Angel match, but you can also just kind of go over them. So I don't know, there's a lot of merits to this deck. There's a lot of fun stuff to be doing, and if you craft this, the most expensive part is the Abhorrent Oculus outside of the lands, and this is a cool card to have in your collection. You should have it in your collection, so I don't think you would feel bad about crafting this Mythic. It's going to be around in Standard for a long time. So, let me know what you think about Atraxa Neoform. Sorry to only bring one win, but hey, things are getting a little bit warm. I'm sweating. Man, it's going to be rough filming these videos over the next couple of months when this heat is getting up to plus 30 in the mornings and I have to turn off my fans. Besides the point, I'm not recording anymore. I'm taking a break. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of coffee and get started with my day. So, yes, let me know what you thought about the deck. Hey, it's free to hit the like button. Subscribe if you've watched probably what's going to end up being about 40 minutes, not 40, an hour long video. If you watched me ramble on for an hour, why not hit subscribe? You know, 377 now up to this point, so gaining like 25 subscribers since I came back. Thank you very much, and let me know how you're doing. Take care for now. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.